my focus is going to be on decluttering today. That's like the whole point of what I wanted to accomplish on this day, but I did want to get some laundry put in before I headed upstairs to clean and declutter up there. But in just a minute, when we get to the top of the stairs, I'm going to be sharing a real life moment with you guys, just kind of the state of our home. Sometimes it's not always this way. Sometimes it's very put together, and other times it's really not. And a lot of it just reflects on what we've been going through, different things, different stages of life. But I did want to share the reason that I share these real life moments and the reason that I haven't kind of hid away from them and not shared them on my channel, because it would be so easy to kind of hide that from you guys. But the reason that I don't want to hide those things is because on social media, it is so easy to look into everyone's highlight reel and then compare your full entire life to someone else's highlight reel. And while it can be inspiring, and I think there's definitely a time and place for that, to just be inspired by others, I also think it can be really hard mentally to see everyone's highlight reel and then you're seeing your entire life and you're judging yourself on it. So I do not want to be part of that. I want to be instead a place that you can come and you can feel good and you can feel seen and you can feel like you're not alone, like you're not the only one with a messy home, or you're not the only one who's falling behind on getting things done. Like, all we are doing is we're doing our best, and that's really all we can ever do. And I want to be a place of encouragement, and I want to be a place where you can feel more inspired and more happy and proud of yourself and feel better than when you got here. So anyway, I know I've talked about this before, but I feel like it's always a good reminder when you are seeing other people's homes and other people's lives, just keep in mind there's so much going on behind the scenes that you might not ever even know about. And I'm definitely not a person to kind of relish in someone else's struggles. However, sometimes it can be comforting just to simply know that you are not alone. Like, you're not the only one struggling or dealing with things or, falling behind. And that's actually a huge reason why I wanted to share this particular video in this way, is because decluttering your home can reduce so much anxiety. It can reduce a lot of stress and a lot of chaos. But the process of decluttering can definitely be a struggle sometimes. And so instead of entering into a decluttering day with that kind of built-in stress around it and maybe anxiety, maybe worry, I think you absolutely can create a peaceful day of decluttering. But I think you just have to be intentional about it. Keep your mindset positive and then do some little things. Like in the beginning of this video, I shared a simmer pot. We're adding some good smells. I'm cleaning with one of my favorite cleaners. Like, I'm just doing the little things that really make it nice and peaceful and relaxing. And so if you do that and then you just take things kind of slow, take them one cabinet at a time, one drawer at a time, you can absolutely get your home decluttered, and you can do it in a way that doesn't kind of invoke that stress. So I hope in today's video you end up feeling really motivated to declutter your own space, but I also hope that you feel a sense of calm and peace. What'd you say?
It looks really good. I'll see that.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. gosh, this was actually so emotional for me to go through the kids' books. It's been a while since my kids have really sat down to read a storybook. Like a lot of them are just from their little childhood. We now have an almost 14-year-old, almost 11-year-old, oh my gosh, and an 8-year-old. And so definitely our oldest only reads chapter books, and our middle son only reads chapter books as well. And now our youngest is kind of in that in-between stage. He really is mostly just reading chapter books, but occasionally he'll pull out some storybooks, but it is definitely not how it was before. And so I wanted to take some time and just go through the books that was clearly overflowing. Now, over the years, we've gotten a lot of these from the thrift store. We've also, been handed some from friends. So over the years, I feel like I really have curated our books. We have a lot of our favorites. We've gotten rid of the ones that we don't care for. And so I think I am going to, instead of just decluttering these and donating them, I'm probably going to give these ones to some of my sisters who have some younger kids. But that's definitely another tip. If you're struggling with just donating something because you feel like, you spent a lot of money on it, or it really is something of great quality, you can always do a swap with some friends or family. That's something that has actually brought me a bit of peace, is like passing it on to someone that is going to really enjoy it. And you can also even bring some really nice items to shelters. That is another great way to pass along your items that you're no longer using, but that the person receiving it is going to get a lot of use out of them. One thing that I love about decluttering is how it simplifies your home and allows you more time to spend doing what you enjoy. But another way to simplify your home is not always by removing things, but sometimes adding something in that makes your life a little easier. And this little guy is the perfect addition to simplify absolutely any home. And I'm going to have an amazing discount to share with you for the Narwhal Freozy Ultra in just a minute. So the reason it works great in any home is because even if you have pets like we do, or young kids like we do, and have various items left on the floor throughout the day, the Freozy Ultra has real-time obstacle avoidance, so it's not going to get caught up in anything. And look how it cleans edge to edge. It's just so impressive. And although we hope this doesn't happen and we don't want to think about it, it even avoids pet accidents. Now, another thing it does is it can detect wet and dry messes, so it'll choose to vacuum first for dry messes and then mop over the wet messes. And it will even detect when the floor has been fully cleaned, so it's not leaving part of the mess behind. Now, one thing I've mentioned so many times on my channel is how I love vacuum lines, but the best ones are the ones you don't make yourself. And what's even better is when they get made without you even realizing it, because the Narwhal Freozy Ultra is so quiet. I actually have pulled the sound up on this clip fully so you can hear it, and it honestly is hard to hear because it truly is so quiet, so it's also not going to be disruptive to your day-to-day life. Now, once your floors are cleaned, it'll even return to the all-in-one maintenance-free station that not only quietly empties the dust it picked up from your floors, but it also fills itself up with clean water and solution and then self-cleans and dries. They made this so hassle-free, so the only thing that you have to do is set up the schedule and your needs on the app, and then replace the dust bag every few months, and then empty and refill the clean and dirty water tanks occasionally. I'm telling you, this robot vacuum mop will be such an asset to your home, and Narwhal is amazing and offering you guys an incredible discount. So grab the link and discount in the description box, and I'll also have that included in the pinned comment so you can snag this incredible deal on the new Narwhal Freozy Ultra.
Also encourage for you to listen to my if you're familiar that I should do something all you do is put your little things and you'll start to for me, everyone's a different choice I make, but for me it is never like I get back in the room and you stimulates local brain.
I don't think you could hear what we were chatting about, but I was actually hanging out on Marco Polo with my friend during this day, or, part of the day. And that is definitely something that I found has been very helpful, especially when I'm trying to create a lot of peace and calm around decluttering and not feel some of that anxiousness that oftentimes can kind of pop up. If you keep yourself, slightly distracted, obviously you still have to focus on what you're doing, but if you can listen to an audiobook or a podcast or FaceTime with a friend or call or something, even put up a YouTube video like this, just so that you have something going on in your mind and your mind doesn't get carried away with all the thoughts of, oh gosh, I really shouldn't have bought this. Oh, I feel guilt about that. Oh, I shouldn't be getting rid of this. Well, I really should find time to use this again. Like, there are so many thoughts that go through your mind when you're decluttering. And if you're able to, kind of distract your mind so it's not just gonna get overwhelmed with the thoughts. So like I said, on this day, I just spent a lot of the time listening and talking back with my friend on Marco Polo, which if you guys don't know what that app is, I've talked about it a lot of times, but basically I call it a FaceTime for moms. It's like a FaceTime type messaging app where you can either do voice messages or written messages or a video message, and then whoever you're sending it to can play it back at any time. So it's just super nice because we don't always have our schedules lining up, but this kind of helps us keep in touch a little better. I know I'm not alone with the cords. I don't even know what to do with them anymore. It's so hard, and I'll actually talk about this a little bit later on in the video, but sometimes my mind goes to, well, if I already have a spot for cords and it fits, then why don't I just keep them all? But it's also a thing of, I have never needed 12 cords at the same time of the same type. So I don't need that many. But over the years, you get something and it comes with a cord, or you lose a cord and you buy a new one, whatever the case is. For that reason, you end up having this overabundance of cords. But then it's like when you have so many, then it just can be overwhelming. So I'm already kind of kicking myself as I'm chatting with you guys. I'm like, I should have gotten rid of even more cords. I did get rid of like maybe half the cords, but I should have gotten rid of even more, because let me tell you, this is not the only place in our home that we have cords. They're taking over everything. But that's another thing that actually works really well is I will declutter one day, and then within like the next week, I might go back through that area that I just decluttered. And it's nice because then I'm able to see it a little bit more clearly and a little bit more true to how it really is. And I can actually get rid of a decent amount more in the second pass. It's a new day. I don't have like big segments of time today just because we have a lot of different things going on, but I do have little pockets. So today I'm going to focus on just like little things. So this sideboard, I love it. It was just a regular dresser. I got it from Facebook Marketplace years ago, and I refinished it because it was not in good shape. So we sanded down the drawers, painted the outside area black, and now it just sits in our dining room. And honestly, I really have not utilized it the best. It's been kind of just like a catch-all for random things that don't have homes, but I want to change that. So today, before I can obviously like go through and organize it and all that stuff, I need to declutter the random bits that are in here. Like this, I don't even know what's in here. We have some dog food. We have some old Valentine's Day cards, some random cords. Anyway, we just kind of have some random bits. I'm gonna try to declutter this really quick, and then I also want to focus on, you can't see it, but underneath that built-in area, it's again like another just kind of random catch-all. It has some things like stuff for the TV and hookups for that, but then there's just a bunch of random stuff in there. So I want to declutter that as well. And then I think we'll probably have to head out because Luke has a football game today. Then I actually want to go upstairs, declutter the hall closet a little bit, and then we'll also step outside and just handle the patio area that's been a hot mess for a little while. But we are getting into, well, we're going to be getting into really, really nice, like perfect outdoor Arizona weather. And so we want to make sure that's ready to go. So anyway, let's get back to decluttering. All right, I think I'm gonna put everything that doesn't belong here that we're keeping back here. And then I guess I'll get a laundry basket to declutter everything else.
Hop in my getaway car, let's go just for the night. Nowhere is ever too far, baby, all we got is time. A small town, run down, so let's run away from here. From the ghost to the coast, where everything is clear. Follow me from the past into the future. We don't need any bags or any pastors. Let's be in the present, I don't wanna sweat it, I just wanna start all over. Just wanna start all over.
Okay, so random, but these are just little soap boxes from like either Walmart or Dollar Tree, and they work so good to hold cards. But it's so nice because otherwise the card holders, the cardboard ones, just kind of fall apart over time, and these just keep them so nice and contained. Now also the reason that we have multiples of these is because, and I'm keeping multiples, is because we do have friends or family come over and play cards, and when we do that, we will often like combine a bunch of these sets because one set or two sets is just not enough depending on how many people you have.
We don't need the memories, just need to wipe the
Sometimes when you go to declutter, I feel like sometimes you almost have this idea that you need to get rid of everything. You need to get rid of 90% of your stuff. And honestly, I just don't feel like that's the case. We genuinely use these game cards, for example, so I don't want to come in and feel like I need to get rid of a bunch or that I didn't do a good job of decluttering because I kept a bunch of game cards. It truly is just getting rid of the things that you're not using. And I think even part of decluttering can even just be decluttering a space, putting things back where they go and kind of resetting that space as well. Okay, so normally I keep all of these bloom towels folded up really nice in my drawer next to the sink. I love these because they're super nice quality. I've kind of collected them over the years. They just kind of take over that drawer, but I feel like over here it might be just a little bit nicer to store them over here. So I cleared out this drawer. I'm gonna start storing my bloom towels over here, and then it's nice because then every season you can just have the ones like that you're looking for. And any that are very seasonal that like cannot be used, you know, the rest of the year, like I won't be using the summer one in the middle of winter really, I'll put those ones down in this drawer. And then I also have just ordered extras randomly, like if they have sales, like I think every Tuesday maybe they have like a different bloom towel on sale for $12, or they'll just run sales different times during the year. And I love to support small businesses, so I just have random ones that I want to include in like giveaways, and I also get them just to give them as gifts because they're such a good gift option. So anyway, I have some brand new ones never opened that I'm going to keep in, I think, just the bottom drawer down here.
Cover me in colors I can only see with you. I'd be better with another, but I always pick you. I try my best to fight, I can't deny it touches diamonds, and you're probably the reason that I'm so messed up too. I can't stop it.
And these ones are just actually from my original collection that I designed with them. I love these towels so much. I was making a reel with these, so I unfolded them all, but I'm gonna have to refold them and then I'll just keep those in here.
Into your game, play the game, play the game. Wrong can still be right. People wanna tell me all the time, but someday my prince will come. But if this ain't love, then I don't want it.
Okay, and this is actually something that we store for my uncle randomly, but this isn't the place we need to store it, so I'm gonna put this in our closet and we can store it in there. And then when I figure out what I exactly want to store in the rest of these empty drawers, then we'll have a space.
Hands are in my denim, but your heart's not with them. Tearing up the thought of all the pieces missing. And I try swear I'm cursed, 'cause I know you're bad for me, but it makes no difference. I can't stop it, it's ugly, but honest. Got me tripping for the way you say my name, say my name, say my name.
It's a few hours later and we went to Luke's football game, but now before I finish up some stuff inside, I just want to get out here a little reset. Specifically, I want to get rid of this couch thing because it kind of arrived broke when we got it. And then it was something that Kyle was able to fix, and he kind of like fixed it and, you know, kind of limped it along, and it actually lasted, I think, like almost 2 years. And then it finally just, it hit its last breaking point, and now it literally just doesn't have this side, so it's kind of like lopsided. But we've been hanging out with it for a while, just not getting around to getting rid of it. So I'm gonna reset out here, get rid of this, and then also get rid of this. I wonder, I don't know, I'll have to, maybe I'll take this apart a little bit. The birds got into this. It used to be on our front porch, and so they kind of took holes, chopped holes out of it, I think, to make their nests very nice and beautiful. And in the process, they destroyed our bench. But maybe I'll see if I can kind of take the top apart and find a way to fix it, or, you know, DIY it some way. But at least I'm gonna do something with this whole situation, and then just give the backyard a little quick reset, and then we'll go back inside and kind of declutter a little bit more. But it is so nice out here, actually. I don't know if you can tell, but it's like kind of windy, and it just, the heat has broken. It feels really nice out here. So now you hear the wind. Let's get the patio reset. Let me know in the comments, what is the weather like this time of year for you guys? Here in Arizona, we are still getting 100-degree weather, which I know I look so silly in my sweatshirt, but like I had mentioned, the heat had kind of broken a little bit and it was feeling nice, and I was just in my cozy vibe. But because of the weather that we have here in Arizona, we tend to do one big reset of our outdoor area right before the summer, because that's when we're going to be spending the time in the pool, and then right at the end of the summer, because we're not going to be in the pool all winter long. However, we are going to be on the patio and in the backyard and just in our outdoor spaces a lot more, because the weather in the winter and fall is absolutely beautiful here in Arizona. I feel like we spend the winter and fall months kind of making up for the summer heat. All right, we'll see if that works. This is still nice and sturdy, so maybe we can even just get like some 2x4s or scrap 2x whatever boards, stain them, and just like drill them in. But this is for sure trash at this point. All right, it is a new day, and we are just kind of like right below our built-in area. The other side is full of like all the kids' arts and crafts and everything, but this side is kind of just a bunch of randomness. We have well, let me just show you. So we have like this sound system with the TV right here, and then mostly just some little bit of gaming stuff. We mostly do that upstairs, but we have a few things down here. And then over here, it's like I'll store puzzles, randomness, but I just want to kind of go through it and make sure that anything that is in here is stuff that we actually want to keep. All right. First off, we have this museum gel. I don't know if you guys have tried this, but it's amazing. And I've literally been looking for this for a very long time, but I'm not like down at eye level down here looking for this. But what it is, it's like this sticky stuff, but you can see like it doesn't stick to your fingers. If you put this underneath the vase and you stick it down, it will not budge. This is perfect for in your cabinets if you have things that you don't want to slide around, like in your bathroom drawers and your kitchen cabinets, whatever. Anyway, this stuff is like magic, and I was just about to break down and order another one because I could not find it anywhere. So decluttering is already helping me. Have some video games for a video game system that's not even down here, so that'll either get decluttered or brought back upstairs. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do? It'll be a different day, but I think I'm gonna move all the games from upstairs in the theater room. Back when we used to have kind of like a game table upstairs, now we just play our games down here, but I think I'm gonna move all of our games into here. I feel like that would be a great spot for these because we don't always play board games, and I feel like a lot of it is because they're just kind of out of sight, out of mind. Whereas if they were down here in the area that we'll play them, either on the coffee table or the kitchen table, it would make a lot more sense. All right, now let's go upstairs and work on the hall closet. I have organized that and decluttered it in the past, but I need to go through and just re-declutter because every time I open that door, it just there's way too much stuff in there, and I don't grab for a lot of it a lot of the time.
Nobody's business all day, all night. Yeah, we running like a limbo.
This is an area that I personally struggle with. If I'm going to keep tissue paper, why not keep all the tissue paper? Because I already have a spot for it and it's something that you use up and things like that. But I guarantee every time I come in here, I will not grab for these colored ones. But a lot of times it's like, well, I have this huge bag. If it's not like overflowing, it might as well just keep it. But if I'm not going to use it, then I might as well just get rid of it. You know what I mean? It's just like almost a shift in your mindset. Instead of like, if you have room for it, you might as well keep it. Instead, go to, if you're not going to use it, then you might as well get rid of it. It seems so easy, but my mind seems to be stuck in, if we have room for it, then let's keep it kind of thing sometimes. So anyway, I am going to get rid of a bunch of the extra tissue papers. This is more than enough, I guarantee you, to last us for quite a while. And then I do have a few different like gift bags, which I probably will use some of those. I'm gonna keep like very generic bags or bags that I feel like this is Minecraft. Our kids and their friends are still into this stuff, so I will keep these, but then I just don't need to keep all the rest of it. Don't go back and watch because it's so awkward, but I believe it was like my second video ever. It took so many takes for me to get it done. I shared this hack. We have been using this hack for years and years and years and years. And it's basically like a gift wrapping station. You utilize the back of your door, you just hang it up with one of these shoe organizers, whatever you want to call them, and you cut along the bottom of several of them so that your wrapping paper can actually go through. And then you can use the pockets here for a lot of other things. But it's nice because this utilizes space that otherwise would have been completely wasted. And you always know where it's at. Like every time we have a birthday party for the kids or something, everybody in the house knows exactly where to go to grab tissue paper, to grab tape, to grab, a lot of times we have scissors. I'm gonna stick my tissue paper into one of these holders, and then I'll actually know where it is, because a lot of times I don't put tissue paper in here. I put it in the bags and then, I don't know, I guess out of sight, out of mind, but now we are good. Now these are actually really handy. It's just like a strap that you can wrap around your sheet sets. For the guest bed, I never use a different sheet or anything. I always just use the one and then I wash it and dry it, wash it and dry it. These are the kids, which I will actually change them out and do a new one, but I don't need an extra one. So I guess I'll get rid of this one. Earlier in the year, I read a book or listened to an Audible book by Dana K. White. It's an incredible book. I believe it was called Decluttering at the Speed of Life. It's such a good book, just the way that she kind of talks about decluttering. One of the things that she said is when you're decluttering a space, basically sometimes you'll keep things because we're going to use sunscreen, so I might as well keep the sunscreen. But if I'm not going to look in this space for sunscreen, then I'll never find it when I'm actually looking for it. And then it's like I might as well declutter it. So while you're decluttering, you also want to put things away where they go. And if they don't go anywhere, then either give them a home or give them away. And if you can't fit it in its new home, then either create a different home or again, get rid of it, because everything has to have a home. So this does have a home, but it's going to be with our pool or lake bag, because that's where I'm going to look for sunscreen. Okay, this is so random, but if you do a lot of cleaning around your home, knee pads are actually so nice to have, especially when you're doing like floor scrubbing or baseboards or like anything where you're on your knees a lot, or like, you know, cleaning the kick plates in the kitchen. I don't use these every day. I don't pull them out even every week, but when I do pull them out, typically it's a lot of times during the spring cleaning time. They save my knees and you look a little weird, but it's worth it. All right, we did it. I hope that this gave you tons of decluttering motivation. I hope you're feeling inspired, and I hope that it brought you a lot of peace today and just showed you like you can actually get a lot done in your home without feeling that overwhelm that sometimes comes with decluttering. So anyway, thank you so much for being here, and I will see you in the next one. Bye guys.